Hello, and welcome to the Divinely Sovereign Podcast. I'm your host, Senna Scott. I'm an intuitive artist and a sovereignty empowerment coach. The Divinely Sovereign Podcast is a sanctuary for spiritual women becoming their most creative, expressive, and sovereign self. This is for the woman who is done pushing, proving, and performing, and ready to live from self-trust, embodiment, inner authority, and alignment. If you're in a season of becoming, this space is for you. So what I want to talk about today is you are scared of your own power. That's what's holding you back, baby girl. That's what's holding you back. I am coming to you live today from my fort that I built with my 7-year-old son. I need to take a shower. I kind of look like shit, but we're here. We love her. We're going to do this. What is so important about this message that's coming through this morning is that one of the greatest things that will stop us from getting the life that we desire, from calling in the thing that we really, really fucking want, is one, being honest about what we really fucking want, saying it out loud, and lastly, it's you. You're scared of what it will take to become that person. And you know why? We're just going to get right into it. I'm a Leo, Capricorn, Taurus. I'm going to cut straight into the shit. My content is going to be explicit, so please don't have your kids around. And I'm feeling extra sassy today, if I'm honest, okay? The reason why you're scared of your power is because that version of you can't come with you. They can't come with you. And unfortunately, all of those stories, all those beliefs, all the secondary gains in which when you are outliving a specific narrative, okay, you get secondary gains. So for example, I'll talk totally personally from experience. I'm a single mother. For a long time, I really identified with that belief. I had some sadness, some shame, some guilt, which already is really fucking annoying when you're a single mom to even have guilt in the first place because you're already doing everything. But then you have this burden of this guilt of I wish that my son had a really present father. It's really annoying that even exists. But beside the point, that was carried within me for a really long time. And when I'd say it out loud or whatever, it was kind of great because then I'd get this secondary gain of sympathy from another person. And I liked it. It was pretty great, actually. That's just an example of a secondary gain. So when we go through life, we create these beliefs. We kind of create these identities. We kind of create these, I want to say kind of coping mechanisms and ways that we navigate the world. We navigate relationships. We navigate working through our community and also our work, our job, how we get things, how we meet our needs. And so what I'm trying to say here is that when you are, let's say you have an inspired idea, you have a divine download, you have a dream. Maybe it's a literal, at night you went to bed and you had a dream and you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, that was so profound. That feels so real. And then what happens is you go into this state of, oh, but I can't do that. Oh, it can never be. Oh, that little talk of doubt comes in. You have those other parts of you, those voices that maybe tell you you're not enough, that there's no possible way, or you just don't see now how that's possible because your current reality doesn't show it. And that's kind of the fucking point. You're not going to know the how. But the point here is that it's already within you. It's the reason why you even have that is because it's already a possibility. It's already a possible future self that you already are. There's this really beautiful thing that my mentor shared with me once. And it was that when people talk about the cocoon of a butterfly, We talk about the gooey mess. We talk about the metamorphosis that it takes when you're in your cocoon before she emerges into this butterfly. But there was this really beautiful thing that my mentor shared with me, and I'm forgetting the source at the moment. If you happen to know it, I would love to know. There is this point in that the caterpillar, when it was a caterpillar and it goes into the cocoon, it's not that it just was this goopy mess and then it made wings and it became something new. No. The wings were always inside the caterpillar. The wings were already within. All of its potential was already inside. And so the point that I'm saying here is that everything that you already are, you already are. All of what you're becoming, you already have within you. Another beautiful metaphor of this or analogy, I don't know the difference because I didn't pay that much attention in English class, is like a tree. Okay, let's say you're holding an acorn in your hand. An acorn is a seed. But within that seed, it already has the blueprints of becoming a magnificent tree. It goes into the ground. And first of all, fun side squirrel facts. Did you know that squirrels, they forget about 25% of their acorns? They gather their nuts and they go and bury them and stuff. And they often forget about some of them. And those are the trees that we see today. So thanks, squirrels. Just shout out to squirrels. Anyway. First of all, I am so sorry. I hope you're following. I hope you appreciate my neurodivergent mind. I had some coffee on an empty tummy, so we're caffeinated and we're just freaking moving today. So what I'm saying here, though, is that acorn, when it was buried in the ground, it didn't think, what am I going to become? How am I going to become? One day, will I actually ever be a tree? It doesn't deny it. It just is. It just grows. It just already has all the codes within it, the blueprint within it, to be able to grow. It already has this ability to just grow and live and be. And one day, it shoots up through the dark of the soil. It grows some roots. It grows higher and higher and higher. As its roots go deeper, it grows higher and taller and stronger and grows branches. And then it goes into its fullest becoming, its fullest maturation. So that is the same with us. And that's the beauty that nature gets to reflect to us. Is that, first of all, we're not different from an acorn. I mean, think about just even the beauty of a human life for just a moment, okay? When it comes to, literally the very beginning of the creation of the ovum and the sperm and how they come together, and just literally the magnificence of your becoming, of your spirit entering into the physical form, of being in the womb, growing and developing. You have all of that, what it already took to become this beautiful, radiant woman, an adult or person that you are today. And so what I want to name here is that, the same energy, the same greater intelligence of life that moves through nature, that moves through that acorn, that moves through that baby, is always moving us, is always becoming. So sometimes you get these beautiful glimpses of a possibility, of a future, of a dream, of what you might think is a pipe dream, or you want to doubt, maybe think it's not possible. But the reason why you see it, the reason why you feel it, is because you're already encoded within it. You already have it. And the only thing that you have to do is to believe that, and to trust that, and to feed that, and to keep devoting your intention to that, and to guard yourself from putting out your own light. with the doubt, with the fear, and with the criticism. And sometimes that fear and that doubt is the voices of others. It's the voices of your parents. It's the voices of a teacher. It's the voices of society or a culture that has, taught you in some way that that's not possible. But it is. It's very fucking possible. And it is up to you to preserve that. I have another story. A couple years ago, I was in a state where I just knew that I had to join a certain program. I loved the person that was putting it on. It was for a coaching program. And I had this idea of okay, what if I go to this person and I offered them an exchange? What if I offered them a gift? So actually, quick backstory so that this actually really lands. I met this woman, her name's Sadie Jane, in Kauai by the pool years ago. It was actually over the pandemic. We literally had ankle bracelets that kept us on house arrest on the place that we were at in Kauai, like the hotel, because it was during quarantine. And in order to travel to Kauai when they were starting to open up again, you had to be quarantined before you could go see the land and go experience and be a tourist. And I met her by the pool side, and we were quarantined together. And she had her 3 kids playing. I brought my son. I was with my other single mama bestie. She's like my soul sister, and we're raising our kids together, and we're cousins. And as we're sitting by the pool, first of all, during that time of my life, I was working 2 jobs. I had just made my first 100K, and I wanted to make $1 million. And I actually had made a commitment that beginning of the year that I'm going to make $1 million. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I wanted to do it. By the way, for short story, I did not do that. We'll come back to that for maybe some other future episodes. But anyway, as I'm sitting next to this woman, I'm painting. I'm kind of doing my own thing. We're having some nice chat and stuff. And at one point, she loves the painting that I'm making. And this painting, it was like this dark, starry night. It was this woman holding herself, looking up at the stars. And it was something that was for my own healing in that moment. And it was for me. And she wanted to buy my painting. And I said, no, this one's for me. Thank you. But I would love to make you one. And we start talking. And she starts telling me about her life and about her past year and about her story. And she went through a really intense sexual assault experience. And she was in a lawsuit. And a lot of this is public information, so I don't feel like this is unsafe to say. And what's beautiful though was simultaneously, she just healed her marriage and came back together, and she also made her first $1 million. And I was like, oh my God, universe, I see you. Wow, look at you. Look what you're doing. And one of the things that she told me was she was saying it wasn't worth it. Because the way that she made that $1 million, it almost costed her family. And it was the medicine I needed to know in that moment, first of all. It was kind of a side tangent. Because I was about to go down a road, a trajectory, in which it wasn't aligned, and it probably saved me years of heartache. And also the foundations of the beauty that I have, a deep relationship that I have with my son. We're a strong mama-son bond, let me just say. So anyway, we start talking. She's telling me her story. And this is the first time I made a painting like this for somebody. And I just received all this information, and I made her own little painting. It was like a 7x7 on a canvas sheet, because it's all I could pack to Kauai was little sheets of canvas. And I made her a painting. And then I had for the first time ever, this download of these this channeled words for another person. So for me, real quickly with my art, I started opening up my creative abilities over the pandemic. I returned to art. I'll go so much more deeper into the story in another episode. But I had found my passion for art. And when I started painting again, I I started to open up my psychic abilities. And it was cool because it was for my own healing. I was having these visions. I was having these dreams, and I had this way, this outlet of being able to paint and express myself and to move these emotions and move these energies, and so much was activating in my body, and I needed a grounding way to be able to get it out of my body and also to share it with the world. And so I just wanted to name that too real quick. So I already had this for myself, but I hadn't yet done this for other people. So it's my first time doing this for her. And I get this channeled message for her. I write it on the back. I make her cry, give it to her. She offers to pay me. And yet again, I say, no. Actually, what would help me most, because I had just started my art Instagram at the time, is if you shared this on your stories, because she had over 100K followers. And she was like, wow, that's really brave of you to ask. And I was like, thank you. And so she did. And overnight, I got like 200, 300 new followers, some people interested in some commissions. And that expansion, I don't think I've ever talked about this before, scared me, actually. I was like, yay. And then I was like, fuck. It was like too much attention, too much sight on me. And I had this beautiful list of all these commissions, but I couldn't do them. I wasn't ready. Fast forward 2 years later. I think this was 2023, 2024, 3 years later, 2024. So I'm following her on Instagram, kind of stay connected. And she comes out with this program called Sacred Rebels, which, by the way, was life-changing. It was so beautiful, so powerful, and is a major part of the work that I'm offering and able to do today. So first of all, shout out to Sadie Jane. Freaking love you, girl. Love you, sister. And so fast forward to 2024. This is 2 years ago. I'm like, I want to do her program. I had joined her little free like power 3-day thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this program. But I just couldn't see how. I didn't have the money for it. I didn't have the $5,500 it took to do it. And I was in a state of just like already trying to figure out my debt, figure out just my next steps in life. And I was just really in a rut. I had overcome like leaving a corporate job shortly after I had met her in Kauai that year, because I realized that I really needed to focus on heart-based work. That making that $100,000 before didn't really mean anything to me because it wasn't service. It wasn't coming from my heart and my soul. It wasn't coming from inside out. It's coming from outside in. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel that great. It's not very fulfilling. I could have $1 million fucking dollars right here, right now. Oh, wow, this is news to me. And if I didn't make the impact that I want to from the inside out, it wouldn't feel fulfilling. I think I just answered my own reason why I haven't won the lottery yet. Side note. Oh, thanks for going on this ride with me, y'all. So, okay, we're going back to the story. So I have this beautiful experience with doing her 3-day power course. It was free. It moved something in me. There was the invitation to join this 1-year program called Sacred Rebels. And I remember denying myself and saying, no, I can't do it. I don't see a way to do it. And then as I'm painting that week, I get this little whisper that is very quiet. And it said, hey, offer Sadie to make a painting for every single one of those women that joined that container, that joined that program. And I took it in. And it scared the living fuck out of me. It scared me so much. The idea of not only just joining that program, but then doing that many paintings, which was 100 paintings. The year before, she had like 200 people. So I was like, this might be 200 or 300 people. And I was like, oh my God. Wow. I don't know. And so I denied myself at first, actually. And then I couldn't sleep for like 3 days. And my higher self, I swear to God, was like standing above me in bed and just shaking me. And was like, you need to do this. So I finally mustered the courage. And I send Sadie this video of like, hey, and I'm like holding back tears. My throat chakra is totally closed. I am absolutely terrified. And I offered her, I'm like, hey, I really want to join this program. I know that this is a huge ask, but I want to offer, you know, that painting that I made you? What if I made a painting for every single woman that joins? A channeled message, a way to weave in that woman's intentions into the group. Like, because like you set your own intentions, you know, at the beginning of a 1 year container. And like, how cool would it be for every single woman to have a tangible thing that they can have on their hand, that put on their altar, that has their message, that has their intention, that has, you know, I'm receiving their higher self and their guidance team's channel message for them. And to my absolute surprise, she said yes. So I was in, and I had committed, and I was so terrified. And my body and my nervous system fully went into contraction mode, fully went into lockdown. It took me a few months even to start the paintings. But I made that commitment and I showed up. But here's what the whole point of this topic, the whole point of this podcast today, the message that was coming through was that in that moment, the contraction, the fear, the scare, the scary like feelings of my body. It wasn't that I was scared to make 100 paintings. That wasn't that big of a deal. It was that I was scared of the person that I was going to be on the other side. I wasn't just scared of my power, but I was scared of everything that I would have to let go. Everything, that all the stories I'd have to face, all the feelings I'd have to feel, all of the things that I'd have to let go, the versions I'd had to let go. And also, when you shift frequentially, like your frequency, like you have a certain resonance in your aura, and the people in your life are within 7 degrees of your frequency. Like, this is measurable shit. This isn't woo-woo shit. Whatever. This, you only have a certain frequency in which people can stay within your connections and in your field. And so when you shift frequentially, it also means you're going to be losing people. People are going to fade away. Some things may not seem so easily faded away. Some are going to be abrupt because there's friction in the field. And so I felt that. I felt just I could see the sight. I could see down the road 1 year in the future of just like, this is going to take everything. This is going to be mental, emotional. It's going to be my full heart, my full soul. This is going to be physical. This is going to be cellular upgrades. And if you know what I mean by cellular upgrades, you just know what I mean. Until you've experienced it, I can't explain it. It's just, whew. So there's something beautiful about choosing the transformation head on and shitless scared. That is probably the greatest courage that anyone could have. I'll share more other stories in other podcasts, but other times and milestones in my life in which I felt that was when I became a mom, a single mom. I knowingly knew I'd be raising a child by myself. That was another major milestone in my life of facing a decision head on, of choosing something head on. Another one that I'm still in is choosing my business, choosing self-employment, choosing to be an entrepreneur, choosing to share my gifts with the world every single fucking day until I see, even, excuse me, not even until, sharing it even when I don't have results. So if you're an entrepreneur, I see you, girl. I see you. And when I say girl, I mean all genders. I'm just trying to be sassy. Anyway, we're going to start wrapping up here. But what I want to name is that when you have that vision, when you see that potential dream, maybe it's a business, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a community, maybe it's moving to another country, maybe it's when I say a large sum of money, oftentimes it's the person that you need to become to receive that level of abundance, to hold that certain capacity within your own nervous system. When whatever your dream is, whatever the information of that, what I want to name is that it's okay that you're scared today, but do not let it stop you. Face it head on. Be present with yourself. Choose yourself again and again and again. All the feelings that come up are information for you to listen to give space to feel. These parts of you, oftentimes the inner child, oftentimes, your teenage self. There's, I won't go into parts work right now either, but like all of this is just information. And when you acknowledge that you can be scared and still commit to it and still companion yourself and give yourself compassion and care, you're unfuckwithable, girl. Period. Stop. End of story. And I guess lastly, back to my story. One of the biggest things I was scared of too, when I was feeling into the field of what it would feel like to channel 100 women, powerful women, very beautiful, intuitive, powerful women. I knew that it was going to expand me. I knew that it was going to open up my channel. I knew that it was going to develop my abilities. I knew it was going to make me face more of myself. I knew it meant that I had to reclaim more parts of me, more of my shadows. And lastly, I knew that I was going to also learn so much. And I was going to be very humbled. And I was. And I am. And I did it. I did it. I made those 100 paintings. The clarity in which that practice of offering channeled messages for people and channeled paintings, it used to take me 2 hours per painting. And then I was able to make it down to like an hour and a half, then an hour and 15, and now 45 minutes. Like I could just sit down, I can light a candle, I say my prayer, I open up the space, and then when I call upon my higher self, my guidance team, and then I call upon their higher self and guidance team with their consent, obviously, I immediately will get the image. I will see it in my third eye. And then as I'm painting the image, oftentimes the words will just come through. And yeah. I'm getting just more messages of some more future podcasts. One of them being, I just really want to hone in on the fact that creativity is not a hobby. So I'm going to go probably record that now. Anyway, that is the message. Fun stories. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Sovereign Sister, you have everything in you already. Your wings are already within you. It's not about becoming someone new, because you already are that. It's more so about trusting that. Trusting your timing. Trusting that you're being led and guided. And when you choose to trust, when you choose to go within, when you choose to choose the hard thing, girl, you're on the right path. And everything's going to unfold and come into alignment in the highest and best way. And I just want to leave the end of this here with just offering so much light to you on your forward path, and calling forth your angels and your guidance team, your higher self, to bring you some extra love today, to send some light and some gold along your forward path, assist you in clearing out any and all obstacles, help you to overcome any fear or doubt, and assist you that any other voices that are not yours to be made either clear or to be dissolved here and now. And through your consent, when you say, I release this all now, when you call upon your own guidance, it's already done. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, Sovereign Sister.